Hi there, TV Girl here from Voice of TV, and I'm reviewing the Mindy Project on Fox, Season 1, Episode 3, In the Club. And I was going to wear my club clothes, except I don't have any club clothes, so I wore pink in dedication to Mindy, her favorite color. Well, first in news, the Mindy Project has been picked up for a full season. Good news, meaning that it's not going to be canceled in the middle of its first. Ratings aren't phenomenal, but they're good enough so the chances of it being canceled are slim to none. There will be a standard 22 episodes this season. So far for NBC shows, only the Mindy Project, Ben and Kate, Revolution, Go On, and The New Normal have been picked up for full first seasons. I decided to try this show because, first of all, I know Mindy Kaling's character, Kelly Kapoor, from The Office very well and have been watching her from the start. I found out that the Mindy Project's Dr. Mindy Lahiri, played by Mindy Kaling obviously, would resemble Kelly in a lot of ways, and also that it's produced by The Office's BJ Novak, Ryan, if you remember him. I decided that I really wanted to give it a try. I always found Kelly's pop culture and romance story fascinations hilarious and kind of the female anti-hero, so her own show sounded like it had a lot of potential. Well, so far the show's been a little rocky. It has its definite funny moments, and I really like what Mindy is trying to do here, but it's a difficult challenge. She's this starry-eyed chick flick, obsessed single girly girl, but also a very successful OBGYN. You can tell she is poking fun of the stereotypical girly girl, but sometimes it's hard to find the line from where it's being a parody and it's actually what it's parodying. So far, the only guy I've tried to watch it with can't stand it, calling it a chick flick. It's a really difficult feat trying to be this type of woman while poking fun of her, yet keeping her lovable all at the same time. It's really an act of balancing, and it's not easy. So I admire Mindy Kaling for her serious ambition here, and I think the series has potential, especially when I saw the first episode. After this episode, I'm a little worried. Maybe it's just me overanalyzing a simple feel-good comedy too much, but this episode lagged. It didn't have the same feeling or as many laughs as the first two episodes. Also, I'm not impressed with most of the supporting cast. Maybe it's because Mindy's personality is so big and really overshadows everyone else, but really I'm not seeing anything all that too special here. We have Chris Messina, who plays Dr. Danny Castellano, one of the partners of the practice Mindy works at, who's kind of like Mindy's foil. They bicker constantly. He's very anti-romantic, and I think there's potential for a future relationship there. And yes, because of the constant bickering. That's how comedies work a lot, you know? You may know Messina from The Newsroom on HBO, and ironically enough, he was in You've Got Mail, a Tom Hanks Meg Ryan romantic comedy that is one of Mindy's favorites. He's fairly funny, but just kind of your typical douchebag male television doctor. Then there's the British guy that Mindy just fools around with, Dr. Jeremy Reed, played by Ed Weeks, who hasn't really been anything yet. He can be funny at times, but I'm really not sure where his character is headed. Sometimes I wonder if they're going to pull a Nurse Jackie and just randomly drop him. Then there are the three supporting women. Mindy's best friend Gwen, played by Anna Camp, who a lot of people may know as Sarah Newland from True Blood and recurring roles in Mad Men and The Good Wife, and two girls who work for Mindy in her office, the goofy and sloppy drunk Betsy Putch, played by the fairly unknown Zoe Jarman, and Shauna the secretary, played by Amanda Seddon, best known for her roles in Gossip Girl and One Life to Live. There isn't anything wrong with any of her friends, but they aren't all that interesting and are pretty cliche. Shauna probably gives the most laughs, though, if I had to choose. It's almost like everyone in the cast was kind of picked to be just in Mindy's backdrop, rather than being in the forefront to help her shine, which is disappointing. Also an interesting casting choice was Stephen Tobolowsky as Dr. Mark Schulman, the head of the practice there. He's a very familiar face and has been in too many things to even list, but is probably best well known for his roles in Deadwood, Glee, Heroes, and Californication. Probably my favorite supporting actor so far. It's really hard to tell since this was his first full episode as Morgan Tookers, the new nurse. He's played by Ike Barinholtz, who I immediately recognize as the hilarious Russian baseball player from Eastbound and Down, Ivan. Thankfully, he is very funny, memorable, and charismatic. He is also a cast member of Mad TV for 5 years. I think he definitely brightens up the cast and is funny enough to maybe get some laughs out of more male viewers, so I definitely like this addition. Anyway, this episode was just all about Mindy wanting to spice up her boring life and go to a club with her coworkers. So the entire episode was pretty much in the club. There were a few lines that made me laugh. I love Mindy's constant references to liking such trendy and pretentious things. It's just so spot on of what's hot and what's ridiculous sometimes in today's pop culture. And I think Mindy is very convincing as this vain and conforming woman that acts like a little girl, yet at the same time is amazing at her job, is a really great woman, and does like to help people and stick by her friends. She's very close in personality to Kelly from The Office, except that Mindy is much more successful. Not that working in customer service is bad by any means, but apparently Kelly did such a poor job at Dunder Mifflin that there are years of backlogs of customer complaints. Of course, this Mindy is a lot more career-driven and intelligent. Oh, that club bag of Morgan's was pretty silly and funny. I liked his goofiness and how he started to become a bathroom attendant after he accidentally made some money with his bag of strange goodies while in the bathroom. I wasn't surprised that Danny is a good dancer, and it seemed to make Shauna fall for him hard, and she was all upset when she saw Danny make out with another girl. I can't imagine Mindy turning down this opportunity to hang out with a bunch of celebrities just because Shauna's upset that some idiot is making out with another girl. I would think that Mindy would just ask to bring her along, honestly, or her and Betsy, whatever. The more girls at parties, the better, right? Also, guest appearances from lots of NBA stars, but I'm a football girl, not an NBA girl, so I didn't really know many of them. But it put Mindy in heaven. And for some reason, I don't know how those guys went along with it. They're all talking about their favorite chick flicks and diets. Weird. Favorite quotes of the episode. Jeremy regarding his tan that Danny called him orange. This is cream of oak. Mindy on Shauna and Danny being an item. It's like if Hermione liked Voldemort. Josh, the sports attorney, to Mindy. Are you the mistress of a black congressman? Don't worry, it's a compliment. Josh, the sports attorney, again after Mindy saying she couldn't go to the after party. Who knows, maybe we can have a one-night stand sometime. Who says that? When Morgan brought Mindy the money, Mindy was talking about where he got it from and said, I don't want to know. It's going to be bad or scary. A few funny punchlines, but didn't have the same spirit of the first couple episodes, and I definitely didn't laugh very much. So this episode gets a C from me. 3 to 5 chuckles for a half-an-hour comedy just doesn't cut it for me. Maybe you'll get better when they return to the office and their normal lives in next week's episode. I think the show has definite potential, and Mindy Kaling is comedy gold. There's a lot to work with here. It just needs to make some adjustments and really find its place. Anyway, thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out my other video reviews on shows like Boardwalk Empire, Sons of Anarchy, Dexter, and more. Check them out at the Voice of TV YouTube channel, thevoiceoftv.com, and tvgirl.net. See you next week.